So during some recent discussions with some of my friends, they wanted to see what a dual stick setup would look like in use. So I decided to do a bit of a top-down view, bird's eye view video of me using my dual stick setup to try and give a bit of an idea of what it looks like. For my setup, I have on my left hand a Thrustmaster T1600M, and on my right hand I have a Warthog, just the stick. At my feet I have rudder pedals. Trying to explain how this is all bound and how it's all set up, I'm just going to give you a bit of an idea of how I have mine set up. It's not the way to do it, it's not better or worse than anybody else's setup, it's just how I prefer it. In my right hand on my Warthog, I have pitch on my y-axis, which is the forward and back axis on my stick, and I have yaw on my x-axis, which allows me to basically point my pips where I want them to go quite easily. On my left hand stick I have bound strafe left and right on my x-axis, and on my y-axis I actually have that split in half using universal joystick, rear mapper and virtual joystick. And what that means is that when I push the stick forward, I'm actually controlling my throttle, and when I pull the stick back, I'm controlling my backwards strafe. Because it's split in half like that, it allows me to bind the two halves to two different control inputs in the game. Now the reason I like this is because I can see the throttle position on the HUD, and it also gives you the sensation of hearing the engines roar. Now this isn't better or worse than binding your stick to forward and back strafe, it's just different. I also have on my twist axis on my left stick is bound to vertical strafe, up and down. That allows me to do little movements. If I want to just change it up, instead of going left or right all the time, I can go up or down just to change it up. On my rudder pedals I have them bound to roll, so when I'm using my rudders left and right, I'm rolling left and right, so I push left foot down and I roll left wing down, and right foot down is roll right wing down. It's a little bit different than flying an aeroplane obviously, because normally your rudder pedals are for yaw. For me this setup is 100% the best thing that I have found. I've tried different methods. I tried using a HOTAS before. I had a X55 HOTAS, and after switching to dual stick I've not looked back. I love it. It really feels like I'm flying, it feels immersive. Legacy Instructional Series also has a really good guide on how to set up and to give you some ideas on how other people in my org have set up their controllers. Whitesnake in particular puts a lot of time and effort into his videos and into his guides, explaining these things to people and trying to help people with their controls. I'll link that in the description. Please, if you're new and you're not sure how to set up your controls, have a look at that. It's very, very interesting, it's very informative, and it might give you some ideas or some tips on things that you hadn't considered before. So you can see here I'm in a bit of a circle strafe. It's not ideal, not an ideal thing to do, but because Golden Core was distracted by other players there, I managed to get a kill. Again, you can see here in trying to get a profile from above or below how much of a difference it makes. Coming from the side like this, got such a narrow profile, it's a lot harder to hit, but you can see the power of having two sticks and being able to control that strafe really finely. Really twist myself around Nathaniel here and make his life difficult trying to find me and trying to target me. So down the bottom left of my screen here you can see I've got my universal joystick remapper. You can see the parts of that, the sliders showing the position of my left hand stick for the most part. Left and right strafe, throttle is the forward half of my y-axis and reverse strafe is the rear half, and up and down is my twist axis. So you can see the position there and how far I've actually got it thrown, how much input I'm putting into each. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted people to be able to visualise what a dual stick setup looks like, for those who've never seen it before and don't really understand what the fuss is about. So hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea of what it looks like and the advantages of using dual stick over something like a HOTAS, or the difference between using something like this and mouse and a keyboard. If you have any questions about my setup or using a dual stick in particular, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Also wanted to say thank you to Mr. Haskahar for my new intro emblem. He helped me out a lot with that, and I think it looks great. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and good hunting.
For more information on how spacecraft systems work in Star Citizen, please refer to the spacecraft flight manuals found on the RSI website. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching.